Tony Valk with us. You know, I'm looking over there at Jeremy's forecast, and you heard it. It looks like it's going to get pretty cold over the next several days, specifically this weekend.
Exactly.
So people at home are probably like in a panic. What does this mean for my plants? Yeah. Overall, though, we generally overreact, don't we?
At these type of temperatures early in the season, that's the case. We're already getting a lot of calls. What do I do with my blank? And you just fill it in. You know, my this outside, my perennials outside, my herbs outside, my pansies I planted last week, my roses. Across the board, all those things I rattled off, you don't have to do anything about. Roses love this kind of temperature. All your perennials are doing fine. The vast majority of your herbs will tolerate these weathers just fine. Any pansies and violas you planted and mums and so forth that you planted previously are fine. There's a couple exceptions, and I mentioned mums. This cold weather will not kill a mum plant, but it can damage some of the blossoms. I know last segment we talked about planting mums and getting them to grow each year and so forth.
Those blooms to stay on there,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And I brought a couple mums over here. And it's good if they're in containers and you can just set them in the garage during these couple nights when it's supposed to get way down in the 30s, just to make sure you don't get a little frost damage on the top of those blossoms. Or if they're planted in the ground, you can buy a commercial frost blanket to cover them with. You can take newspaper.
Newspaper works.
Newspaper works just fine. It keeps that frost off of them. And most of us know not to use plastic. So, but if you have some mums in full bloom, make sure you cover those as well.
And also houseplants, you said. Right?
Houseplants, one of the main things. I brought a little arboricola houseplant over there. It just kind of is a little reminder, and it represents many, many houseplants that are out there now that need to be brought in. And it's better not to bring them in like when it gets 40 degrees, 39, 38, you know, the night of. The sooner you bring them in, they acclimate, the better.
Oh, so they're not shocked in the
Exactly.
system, right?
So today or tomorrow would be wonderful to start bringing those on inside. A lot of ferns outside, a lot of houseplants. But along with those houseplants, many times come insects and bugs that are on those plants that you take inside. And many times those same insects that are on those houseplants, you know, the houseplants outlive them. They're thriving so well, you don't even know they're hardly there, but the plant is still surviving well. But when you bring them inside, guess what? Those insects think they're in the Garden of Eden. They just flourish. So make sure you spray them with some sort of insect spray to kind of treat them if there's any bugs on there first, insects. There's also some dry granular insect powder that people really like that you can sprinkle on top of the soil on the house plants, and it goes inside the plant.
Hey, Mike joined us here.
Exactly. I think we're going to do this. Absolutely.
Bottom line, to recap, it looks like he's going to bring us a gift here in a second.
Exactly.
We'll catch you in a second, Mike.
Awesome.
Bottom line, don't overreact unless you have, you know, maybe the mums, the house plants, and also just treat them for the insects. Right?
Treat them for insects before you bring them in. Next week, I meant to get into pansies and violas. We'll talk about planting some of those. Absolutely.
Great.
I'll be
Tony,
here.
thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Excellent.